Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Wonderful day to be alive. Follow me on Twitter at CryptoLifer33. I'd greatly appreciate it. On our way to 10,000 followers. We're so close. I want to hit that milestone. What happened to the Mega Millions last night? I did not play the lottery. I never do it. I just don't do it. I believe I'm going to make $1 billion on my own. I don't think I'm going to have to win it. So when I go play the lottery, it makes me doubt myself that I can make $1 billion. So it's like, I'll bypass that billion. I'll get my own billion. That's how I look at it. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Let's take a look at what's happening. So Bitcoin is in this symmetrical triangle, in my humble opinion. Some can believe we broke out. Some can believe we can't. I believe it's not, because that was a resistance area, and we still have a band here, which we're trying to get above. You see my green zone is big boy resistance. We can't seem to get above it and hold 17,000. I said many times that I don't really have faith in the rally until we can close above 17K. That's what I'm looking for. 17K is going to be what I want. So if I can't get to 17K, then I'm going to keep a short open. Now, we did get a rally. Let's talk about it. I did see a short-term rally. Let's break it down. Yesterday, we saw this flag. And as we broke in, kind of was even chintzier, broke back up into the flag. There was a bullish divergence there too as well on a smaller time frame, like the 15 here. See, this was a flat. Actually, let me see. Maybe the 7. There you go. So you had this swing to the downside sharp. But if you looked here on the 7-minute time frame, it was like slight, even if you took it from here, it was a sharper bullish divergence. Let me see. Trying to think. Oh, there it is. I was like, I knew I found it. See this uptrend and this nasty downtrend? I mean, it's not easy to find. But that is bullish divergence right there. Swinging down to swing down, but you're swinging up on the RSI. Hard to find, but you'll get better at figuring this out over time. That's also a shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder that would break to the upside. So you had an inverted head and shoulder with the divergence. Bang, bang, bang. Nothing does it without knowing what it does. You know what I mean? Point of the story is that measured move would take you all the way here. This is the length of the pole from wick to wick. This measured move would take you to approximately 17,100 area, maybe a little bit above. So we got the move to the upside. We got the blast. Because Bitcoin looked tasty, we were able to trade altcoins. Let's talk about Gala X USDT.3L, the biggest gainer of the day yesterday. Biggest gainer in the entire KuCoin space. Made the most gains of any coin in the game. All right. You can see it looks like it's down and out, but this was a huge move for Gala to the upside, and we called it. We had it beautifully done. I had been watching the markets, and I had seen this channel. It looked like an ascending triangle to me. My mind had caught it. We were just going for 40% gains off the measured move. Like this thing would erupt and become the biggest gainer of the day. Gala. Now, what's interesting, on the 7-minute, it's technically in a bit of a flag here too as well. Starting to somewhat flag out. I do see bearish divergence on the 1-hour time frame as this is swinging up while that's swinging down. Something to think about. But we had the biggest gainer, and we had EFX, and we had another one. We had 3 of the 4 or 5 top gainers yesterday on KuCoin. So shout out to my entire team. We work tirelessly every single day. When you join my trading group, not only do you get me, but you get the team. And the team has just been developing stronger and stronger. But you look at the gains on gains. We hit Gala for way more than that, Sean. We got to fix that. That was a 100% gainer. EFX for 24%. AGIX for 29%. And I think there was another one too as well. But gains on gains yesterday were flying into the market. I saw a bunch of different people taking gains on a bunch of different things. All right. I want to take a look at Matic in a second, but we got to break down Bitcoin. So look, what I like to do is I like to show you the bigger idea. This also could be kind of a shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder. Like, I'm still not convinced that we're out of the hot water yet. I got to see the bulls put in certain areas of support, break through certain resistances, or I'm just not convinced that we're out of the hot water yet. This is a different blue shirt than yesterday. I just want to make that clear. You can see it has texture. The back actually changes here from there to there. Different blue shirt. Just want to make that clear. All right? Not wearing the same shirt. I knew you thought that. I know that's what you were thinking. But don't go there on me. Don't go there on me. I'm not going to do that. All right, so look at the rising wedge here, right? We're going to now zoom into that area and show you what I see happening. This is what I love about my channel, and this is what I love about technical analysis, the zoom in effect. I want to see this area, and now I want to zoom into this area. One thing I want to teach you, when I see moving averages get tight and I see the 21 starting to curve like this, price action gets above it, it does tell me there's a move coming up to the 200 SMA. So it's interesting. Like, I have to say, and we've been trading this way for the last few days, and it's been happening over and over again. When moving average get tight and the 200 is the outlier, price action loves to bounce to it. It's just like when you're pumping, like I teach, when you're getting into a trade, you're pumping, price gets really far away, it separates the 200 and the 21. And what happens? Price has to dump back to the 200. It's the same idea, but we're just upside down. And that's an inverted. It's interesting. Did the head and shoulder get negated already? There's a chance. You got to be open-minded to all possibilities and just take the highest probability of the one that makes the most sense. That's how I trade. See, it takes a long time to get into the real true mindset of a trader. Like 5 to 7 years, really, in my humble opinion. You begin to trade, but your brain slowly changes. You're changing the actual thought process in the brain. And even though you know TA for 4 to 5 years, the brain still is molding and molding until eventually you become more computerized. Like, you look at things more as data. You're able to extrapolate emotion, and you're just looking at things exact. And then, so when beginners watch your channel, they have more emotion attached. So it takes a little longer for it to absorb. All right, but it'll happen over time. Take a look here at Bitcoin. Now what we're going to do is we're going to zoom into this rising wedge. See, we know that we have a bit of a rising wedge here. We're going to zoom into this rising wedge. Shout out to the love. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for jumping on in. And I just don't like, the alcohol reference. So look, let's go in here to the 1 hour time frame. So this is that rising wedge that I'm showing you. We're inside this bigger channel. This is a falling wedge that broke out too. Just showing you some smaller things. We have there is an idea here that we got a bit of a Sammy cup and handy to the upside. I've been showing this for a long time. Randall on Crypto Love just kind of talked about it. I kind of want him on the channel to talk about this. I think I'm going to reach out and see if we can get Randall. We'll do a pre-recorded. He doesn't do live streams. We'll do a pre-recorded and get him back on the channel if we can. Shout out to Randall Crypto Love in the house. If anyone knows him, tell him I love him. So look, the 1 hour in the rising wedge. Okay? Up, down, fell out of the wedge in my humble opinion. Made it feel like we were going to dump hard. All right? I felt like a rising wedges break down 68% of the time. Likelihood was us coming down here. We got a divergence. We got a bounce. To me, that was unexpected. I'll be honest. Like, that was boom. But the 4 hour got oversold, and we got our bounce. See, the 4 hour came down, and if you play stochastics said that we were getting lack of momentum. And so I'm always open-minded. Could we get back in the channel? We did. We broke back in this. Then once we were in this flag, I stay. Once you're in a flag, I just see that's what's great about like being like being like a bot. If I was emotional, we came back up. Like, oh my God, we're just like, what's gonna happen now? We're just bouncing all over the place. Oh my God, like price is down, price is up. I pick up. But me, I just say, if you go back in the flag's valid again, Sam. And I just stay to the same scenario. So the second Bitcoin broke back inside this flag, I then immediately grabbed my measured move and played this as if it was a flag again and said, okay, you want to play flags? Let's play flags, baby. And that can change like the way you trade for life. So basically, every time if you have a really good pattern, you believe in it, it makes sense, you're working it. Like this was a flag from the beginning, from behind here. Came down, jettisoned down out. But look, we got saved by what? A high volume node. You see this on the VRVP? And you can see there was also traction here and here. Resistance. Bit of a chop. So there was some chop there to give us a little bit of a place to dig in. It's kind of like a place, if you're rock climbing, it's a place to dig your foot in. It's a place for liquidity to grab a piece, hold its own so it doesn't drop further to the downside. Something cool to think about. So then we break on up. Now we're making another flag. I have to be honest. I just play the flags exactly like I'm supposed to see them. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this. To me, it looks messy. This line here is bearish divergence. Swing down to swing down, swing up to swing up. I have to point that out. Some bearish divergence is forming right off the bat. Okay. Hands down. Can I open up this a little bit? I could do this and bring this down. What I'm trying to show you is like, you're starting to make this tighter rising wedge for sure. All right. Then I'm going to hit you with this. Could we be making a right shoulder in a slanted, uptrending, inverted head and shoulder, which I've seen. All right. This is my bullish So bullish scenario is that with low liquidity on a Saturday, in this flag, resistance, 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 we break up, we SR flip 16,880, we stay at 16,009, and we break to the upside here, right? And so what we'll do for you is just remember all this, right? But what I want to do is just make it even neater for you. Just nice and neat and complete. I'm also watching this flag on the 1 hour for Gala. You know, if Bitcoin pumps, you're going to see the market just get another move. It is what it is. And Bitcoin loves to surprise everybody and do things you just never thought it could do. So always be ready. Oh yeah, Coinbase has Tether now. So just see it nice and light. You can just sit here like so. And it to me, it's attempting to break out. It has a very large flag. And again, I just take the flags the way they're given. I don't question them. The algorithms play the zones and do what they do, okay? It's a slanted, uptrending cup and handle, as I've seen. Sammy cup and handy to the upside. Yes! Yeah. But, you know, it has that feel. It has that feel. No guarantees, but it has the feel. Moving averages getting somewhat far apart, too, which isn't great. But it has the parabola feel, too. Rising wedges begin monumental moves. Can Bitcoin make this little mini parabola back up to 18K, 17,007, right? So we shall see. Right now, I remain bullish on the 1 hour time frame because we're in a beautiful flag. We're holding above this resistance area. So it is what it is, all right? Resistance, resistance, bounce. 21-day moving average, lack of bearish momentum in the MACD. In a flag here, even on the RSI, which is flipping up. And you want to flip up here in the stochastics oversold. So, you know, and again, always look out for the M pattern. The lackluster move could even be slightly higher, slightly lower, something like this, but the lackluster move in the M and the break to the downside. We are still at heavy resistance. Remember that. Okay, which, yeah, on Binance, see? So we still have this major resistance that we're dealing with right here. We got to get, the bulls have to close candles above 17,000 to remain bullish, all right? So remember, if you join my trading group, would have experienced possibly 100% gains with us on Gala if you knew the education and were able to use it. It was amazing. We get you started. We scan the market, show you the most probable things that are happening by the oscillators and what we're looking at. And then if you can apply your education and the knowledge, it's all there. Having a group of positive people every single day to push you, tell you there's no excuses and keep you moving will really get you grinding and getting to the next level. I work every single day, 7 days a week here on YouTube. You see me every day. I work it like a real job. I love it. It's what I do for a living. I wouldn't change it for the world. God bless each and every one of you for being here. That is your Bitcoin update for the day, all right? What I see is a possible move for Bitcoin on the 1 hour time frame to the upside. To the upside because we're oversold and I see some indications that we're going to get a move, all right? Watch out for the M pattern. We have to get through resistance. I'm not bullish until we can close candles above 17,000, 17,003, and even 18,300. Like, there's a bunch of hurdles for us to get to. My most bullish scenario is if we can get above this point of control here, hold above it, really hold close candles, we can move all the way back to this point of control. There's a huge gap of liquidity here. We fell down so fast, we can move up so fast. There's not a lot of resistance in this area besides this previous one that we just made at about 17,880. And then I guess the wick to 18,003. Also, the 200 SMA is important. The 4 hour, we need to get back above the 200 SMA. Right now we are. I like to long when I'm back above the 200 SMA on the 4 hour time frame. It's substantial. Right here, it could just be a little dip. Most likely when you get above it, I can back test this for you. Here you got above it. Yes, you may have played games, but from here to here, you had a win. Okay, 1 for 1. Here you got above it, right? Came down a little bit, got back above it. So you would have long this one, maybe it would have been a dud. You might have got stopped out or hit a break even on this one. Get into this one, it would have been a monster move. Right? So both wouldn't have hurt you. That one would have paid, right? This one would have paid nicely. This one would have paid nicely. Kind of came up and came down, but the one candle closed and one candle didn't. That might have been a dub, but that would have paid. That would have paid a little bit too. Just opening along once you get above the 200 SMA. That would have paid. That would have paid substantially from the low point. That would have paid substantially. And then opening shorts when you go below it, would have paid substantially. Would have paid substantially. Would have paid substantially. Would have paid absolutely substantially here if you open the short when you break below the 200 SMA right there. Right? There would have paid a little bit over time. Here would have paid on the long. So it doesn't mean every time it's going to be amazing. But in general, if you have patience in understanding, holding above the 200 SMA is a good sign. So if we can hold above this and stay above it, that's how bull runs begin. That could be the beginning of the bull run right now. Right now, we could be witnessing the beginning. Every time we get above it, it could be the beginning. And why would you'd be looking at me and you'd be like, why are you saying that, Lifer? You're such a, why are you being so hopium? Well, I'm just telling you the facts of life when it comes to technical analysis. Every time Bitcoin gets above the 200 SMA, look, huge move there. It could be it could be just a little tiny move, like you're just barely above it, and then boom, right? Here, you're barely above it. Boom. The last bull run began right here, October 7th of 2020, really started to get, I'm going to say, it's really where it began. And it began with a few candles in the 4-hour above the 200 SMA. Just like we are now. Look, and one came back for a retest. Like we kind of bubbled up, then we came back. See that? And no one thought anything of it. People just thought, oh, well, we did have this pennant. See that? It's all there every time in the TA. It's amazing how it plays out over time. Anyway, so it's substantial. Even though it could be nothing, it could be something. It could be everything. So even though it could be nothing, it could be everything. And that's kind of trading in a nutshell. Understanding that concept and being able to work with that idea. Letting your brain absorb these concepts and using them when they're needed. All right? So the 200 SMA, 400, we're back above it. That's a bullish sign for me. And I've said it before. However, there's some support and resistance we need to deal with and some serious resistance that Bitcoin just can't get back above. Let's see if the 1 hour can change that today out of this little flag here. Or do we make an M pattern, and does the rising wedge eventually take us to the downside where it should want to go? Which is back to where it began, which I've seen just many, many times in my life. I'm just showing you the probabilities here. All right. And so we're going to watch this 1 hour time frame. 15-minute is looking to roll over. It's not doing too well. You kind of want to see more moves out of that stochastic. That also gives me a hint that there's a lack of bullish momentum, but anything could happen on a Saturday with low liquidity. All right. Let's jump on into Bookmap real quick and show you what I'm seeing for Bookmap. Bookmap is showing some even liquidity. Not a lot of crazy price action. No insane liquidations. Some good buys coming in actually at 16,930. A little bit of liquidity up to 17K. An order stack back at 17.3. We didn't see that before. 1,100 Bitcoin. We have 19,000. Zooming together, we seem to have kind of even globs. Maybe a little more sell pressure than buy pressure. But basically a Saturday with some even liquidity. So anything could happen at any time. A little more being built down here than up here, right? And the 15-minute is starting to kind of wane. But let's see. Probability in the 1 hour does suggest a pump. So there we have it. So my basically overall idea for Bitcoin is see what the 15-minute can do. See what see if it can go sideways and stay in the zone. And the 1 hour is suggesting a bit of a pump. Whether we make an M and get rejected by the same resistance, or do we get back above here, 17,125, and begin a new story, is the question. So that's kind of what we're seeing for the day. Can we get out of this flag to the upside on the 1 hour time frame? When the 1 hour resets in the stochastic, it could either flop, or reset. Tooth is going to flop, and get pushed down and pinned by the 4-hour that wants to dump on you, and we could start our descent, right? Or we could get a nice move to the upside, right? There's a chance, because that's a flag, kind of a falling wedge. You have like a 68% chance this could break out to the upside. You have low liquidity on a Saturday, though. We had a really good trading week yesterday, so I don't always have to be in a trade. Sometimes it's good to observe the market. It depends, on how you feel and what's going on. I never force trades, and after really monster good trades, I like to take a couple days off or a day or two off just to reassess. So I don't give it back to the market, But anyway, do whatever you want. I am not a financial advisor. Like I say, it should be taken as financial advice. Have a wonderful Saturday. I'll see you tonight at 8 p.m. We'll go over this right now. We'll see if this makes an M or if this flag breaks out. I can't wait to come back to you at 8 o'clock. So about 12 hours from now, this will be determined. We're going to see what happens to the 1-hour time frame, and you're going to put this, prediction and projection to the test, and we'll see what happens. I love everybody here. Thank you so much, and I'll catch you tonight for the next live stream. Be safe.